I jumped. I went out. I was like, "Sir, hi. Would you mind if I sang something for you?" I was just waiting to get inside and fall on the bed, take the pillow on my face and scream. I wailed, I wept. That was a mess when I got back to the room. And I was choked because I was like, I really wanted to hear myself in the theater. That did kind of break my heart.
Tracking milestones of an incredible journey spanning 30 years. Rahman Music Sheets. Hi friends, how about finding a top take? A wow factor in this episode. Do watch it till the end to grab this harmonic moment of the day. Now, O2 India presents Talkies Ankahi with unique Indians.
I don't know about pop queen or pop princess. All I knew is I loved my music and I loved being on stage. In the 90s, there were a lot of girls like me who were trying to break out of a family that had many do's and don'ts. Just because a girl is wearing a short skirt doesn't mean she's going to remove it. I don't like the word "you can't do it." You will never do it. Because I will go out of my way to show you I can do it. It might take time, but I will do it.
Coke Studio, a global stage for established and emerging artists. This platform offered an opportunity to Shashaa, but as a choir singer. And she remained petrified, dreading Rahman to kick her out. But why? Why? To know more, watch episode 115 of Rahman Music Sheets. Link is given in the description. Just about a month after Coke Studio, beyond her wildest dreams, Rahman offered her a song. That too, for a Rajinikanth movie.
Actually, I got a call around 4 in the morning. I was keeping unwell, had no voice literally. Sir got a call from Sir's office. Srinidhi had called. I was told that we're calling from Rahman Sir's office and Sir would like to try your voice for a few songs. So can you come to Chennai? And I knew I was unwell, but I was like, I'm going to at least show my face and be there because, I mean, Sir is calling. And somewhere, you know, when you're that young, you feel like, yeah, I'm going to manage or, you know, I'll just push through or whatnot. So I ended up getting to Chennai. Murthy Sir was recording me, and Murthy Sir is one, he's a stickler for, he's the kind of person, he's the conductor who's going to totally take your case if you're not going to perform. And that's what happened. I went behind the microphone and I'm not able to sing because I'm totally congested and I'm sneezing and coughing and whatnot. And he's like, is this who Rahman was speaking so highly of? And I was and Srinidhi's like, sir, sorry, she's not well. He's like, so what? And I could not sing that day. And I went back. I was holding on to everything that was bottled up because I was so overwhelmed that, you know, he has called and I can't sing a word. And it was more about letting him down more than anything else. It was about letting Sir down, that, you know, he had faith in me and he had trust in me, and this is what I end up doing behind the microphone. So I get to the hotel room. We all used to stay at Brown Star. And I was just waiting to get inside and fall on the bed, take the pillow on my face and scream. I wailed, I weeped. I was a mess when I got back to the room. And after a couple of hours, I spoke to Srinidhi and she's like, how are you feeling? I was like, and by then I'd completely lost my voice. The crying didn't help. Next day, she's like, I understand. I've already told Sir, and you come in tomorrow morning and just meet Sir, and then you can go back to Bombay. And I think that was one of the most disappointing days of my life. If I were to put, my top 10 disappointing days, that would be one of them. So anyways, with a very heavy heart, the next day I went to the studio, and again, Sir was just crossing by. Again, he was in a kurta pajama, and I was voiceless at this point. So I was just like, I'm so sorry. Couldn't say. He's like, don't worry, save your voice. And then Sir said those words that, message me when you're feeling better. I've kept the song for you. And it took me another 2 months to get better after that. I had bronchitis, apparently. And he would call to check up on me in those 60 days as well. But when I was better, I did drop him a line. And 2 months later, I went into the studio in Bombay to record the song. And that was VAADA VAADA for Kochadiiyaan.
Shashaa, AR Rahman waits for 2 months for a newcomer. Do you find that unusual?
That's the thing. I mean, there's a reason why we have so much devotion for Sir. I'm not even going to call myself a fangirl anymore. For me, it's dedication, it's devotion. There is an unsurmountable amount of love for him. There's nothing I would not do for Sir. It's like that. He's been that father figure. He's been that mentor. And he's so human when it comes to understanding human problems. He gives you that leeway. And I mean, I will never forget those words of Sir's. And I think that day he won this devotee again.
Shashaa, I'm getting a bit curious now. Not only your first recording, even your first ever meeting with Mr. Rahman was quite a disaster. Many years before you got selected for Coke Studio.
Yes.
Tell me what had happened at that time.
Oh my God, yes, that's so funny. I was in Chennai, yes. Coke Studio was not the first time I met Sir. I had met him once prior to that. And oh my God, it's so embarrassing to think what happened when I actually met Sir. That's probably why he never called me back. Srini Sir had apparently messaged Rahman Sir saying that I think I found the voice you've been looking for. And Srini Sir said, okay, Shashaa, Sir's going to be at the studio, Panchatan. So just show up when you see him, pounce. So I reached Panchatan. I think after an hour and a half of waiting, suddenly I see a white kurta pajama and I see Sir. And he's just like literally he's flying past like a door. So I literally have 0.2 seconds to spot him. I saw the kurta pajama, I saw Sir, and I literally jumped. I went out, I was like, Sir, hi! Would you mind if I sang something for you? And he's looking over there because Benny and everybody is sitting, I guess, in that little waiting area outside the little waiting room. And then he looks at me, he's like, I have work to do, probably in his head. He's like, I have work to do, but then, what do I do? So he's like, okay. And he was kind enough to kind of come inside and then he started asking me questions about where I was from, what I do, what my genre was. And the fan was on and he asked me to sing something and the fan was pretty noisy. So I was like, sir, I have a really soft voice. So you'll probably not be able to hear me. He's like, oh, that's okay. And then he went and he switched the fan off. He's such a gentleman. He actually switched it on too because I was feeling hot. And then he asked me to sing something and I sang a couple of lines in Gurjari Todi. Now, I do have anxiety, severe. And I was nervous. And I can't, my legs were literally shaking like a pendulum. The composition itself is very, it's pretty fast. So it kind of goes da mane na mora jiya un bin re kaise samjhaun samjhat nahi. So that's the melody, and it's 10 times faster than this. So it's ha mane na mora jiya un bin re kaise sa. That was basically the tempo of the song. So I was singing this for Sir, but because I was nervous, I probably sang it at chipmunk speed. So I probably sounded like a chipmunk at that point. I was like, I think that's pretty much how it came out. By the time I was done, my entire body was shivering. And I was like, I blew it. What the hell did I just do? What did I just sing to AR Rahman? That was my mind at the time. I was like, there is no way he's going to call me after this, after what I just did. And then he's like, and he was so sweet. He's like, is there something else you sing? Is there another genre? I was like, that's it. So I think I did an equally terrible job after that with the other genre I ended up singing. I think I sang Norah Jones or something. I don't even know at this point. And the funniest part was while he was leaving, I was like, sir, should I leave a CD? He's like, no. And at that point, that was it. I never heard from Sir after that until Coke Studio happened. So this is again where I'd probably like to bring back that little thing I mentioned about understanding what a composer wants. I think kalakari is great, to be technically proficient is great. To be able to do runs is amazing. It shows how hard you've worked at your craft. But at the same time, music is soul. It's about ruh, and it's about understanding emotion and being able to express that through your instrument. And that is something when I was not singing, but I was getting other singers to sing for myself, when I was composing and producing and all of that. That's something that I started understanding, still am, but that's where it started. And I think that phase where I was not singing until Coke Studio, I think that's something that really helped me to actually be noticed by Sir.
In the original Tamil version of the film Kochadiiyaan, the song was sung by the playback singer and wife of Rajinikanth, Lata Rajinikanth. For its Hindi version, Rahman chose Shashaa.
For the second decade of 21st century, did you find this composition to be rather unusual?
No, I felt like it was signature Rahman, Sir. VAADA took me back to, Lajja se mare re ye jiya. It reminded me of that. It took me back to how na 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 na. That's so, you could feel Rahman, Sir, in that melody. So quintessential AR Rahman, VAADA for me was that sort of a melody, that sort of a vibe. I was so happy that was actually my first song for him.
2009, James Cameron made Avataar using motion capture filming technique. Just about 5 years later, in 2014, Kochadaiyaan used the same technique. Rahman was keen to bring motion capture technology to Indian cinema and participated in the film-making process. Directed by Soundarya Rajinikanth, Kochadaiyaan saw Deepika Padukone making her debut in Tamil cinema. Besides the original Tamil version, the film was released in 5 other Indian languages. The Hindi version of the film featured Shashaa's first song with Rahman. She went to watch the film, but returned broken-hearted.
The song VAADA, just a part of it was retained in the film. And the fact that it was an animated film, the songs were not really played that much, especially in Hindi. So how did it impact you?
So, again, I'm going to be very honest here. For me, just the fact that I sang that, like I mentioned, quintessential AR Rahman sir melody, for me, that was like, that just sealed the deal. So I had no qualms about it being in an animated movie or whatnot. The thing that I did feel a little hurt was when I actually went. So for me, it was my first song for Sir. So I obviously wanted to see it on screen. I wanted to see how my song's been, my song as in, a song I've sung for him, how it would look on the big screen. And I wanted to go and hear myself in the theater. So I went with, my family lives in Canada. So I was all alone in Bombay, and I took a friend of mine along. I was like, we can go and watch if I can't watch this with my family, and they're family friends. So we went, and we're both like, we've got loaded up on popcorn and pop and all that. We're waiting for the song. And finally the song shows up, and I hear Karthik's version, and which is beautiful. And it's playing. And I was like, okay, iske baad, when the female version comes, then it's going to be my voice. So we were waiting for the female version, and then there's a scale change. Not a scale change, sorry, there's a key change. And suddenly I hear the key of my version of the song, the female version. And they play it, and I think I hear a line, maybe just na 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 Satarera vada 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 hum dum. I think I just heard that, and I think that was it. And I was choked because I was like, I really wanted to hear myself in the theater. Your first song for the AR Rahman, and you want to experience it, and that did kind of break my heart. But then, the gratitude supersedes it any day that, you've sung on an AR Rahman soundtrack.
She kept singing and voicing for advertising films. Shashaa continued to polish her voice. And then, her first Tamil song for Rahman arrived. Shashaa Tirupati will continue in our next episode. Stay with us.
I was voiceless at this point, so I was just like, I'm so sorry. Couldn't sing. He's like, don't worry, save your voice. And then Sir said those words that, message me when you're feeling better. I've kept the song for you.
Do you agree that this indeed was the moment of the day? Is your choice different? Whatever your mind says, write it in the comments section below. We will be waiting. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon, and stay entertained.